Hey everybody, Chef Lance here. I'm going to show you how to make a sirloin steak on the stove and then in the oven. Here we go. So here we have a free-range piece of sirloin beef that I have gotten from the store, and I've just seasoned it on both sides with some kosher salt, some organic grinding pepper, and also some of these Grill Mates hamburger spices from McCormick, which are pretty tasty. They're those bigger bits that are on the steak right there. So I got a few other tools here as well. I got some butter that I'm going to use to cook with, and I have my tongs, a butter knife, a digital meat thermometer, and there's the probe for it right there, and also some broccoli, which I'm going to throw into the oven as well to cook. So we're going to start by taking some of this butter and just putting a pretty good sized pat into our pan right here on the stove. I'm just cooking on an electric burner, stainless steel pan. We'll get that butter going. Turn this up a little bit. You see I'm just going up to about not even halfway on here. It smells pretty good. And we'll just coat the pan nicely just by swirling that butter around. We'll let the heat up just a little bit. We want it to be good and hot before we put the meat in there. As you can see, we've also got the oven preheated to about 425 degrees. It's been on for a while. It's been cooking some potatoes. Alright, so we're starting to get a little bit of a bubble in there, so I think we're ready. We're going to drop that meat in. So we'll get the meat. We'll grab our tongs as well. And we're just going to tong the meat right into the pan. Here, that started to cook already. So what we're doing right now is we're just going to actually sear the meat on both sides. This is just browning it up a bit in the pan before we stick it into the oven to finish cooking. The important thing to do here is to remember to let the meat sit in the pan for a while. Don't have to touch it right away, just let it cook. If you do happen to get bored while cooking the meat, stay with the meat. Don't leave it. You want to keep an eye on this. Don't want anything to burn. You definitely don't want to forget about it. So just have some patience. A little hard to see, but it's starting to get a little bit brown around the edges of the meat on the bottom there. Right around where the butter is, just right along there. So, indication we're getting pretty close to getting to turn this. We're just going to turn it right onto the other side. So I'll just flip it. Let's see. Nice and brown on this side. We'll get it the same color on the other side, and then we're going to do the edges as well. Ah, it already smells good. Nice sizzling piece of meat on the stove. It's the best thing there is, really. This is great. Again, it's a game of patience. Although the whole process is fairly quick. Alright, now we're going to bring it onto the side. This is just cooking the edge of the meat now. And it wants to fall a little bit, so I'm going to help it out. Just a bit here. Okay. I'm going to brown the edge real quick. Go for the other edge too. See all that left behind the pan there? That's going to be great for making gravy after this is all done. Alright, and now for the last edge, just on the other side. Right here on this edge. Let's let that cook just a little bit. And once this edge is finished, I'm going to put the beef back down flat and put the temperature thermometer right into the center of the meat. And then we're going to stick it in the oven, which again is at 425 degrees Fahrenheit. So let's get that thermometer. Here's our thermometer, and we're going to make sure that it's plugged in. Right in there. Turn it on. And I'm going to set it for 160, which is a safe cooking temperature for the meat. And it's actually going to let us know when it reaches that temperature, which is really handy. What you want to do is carefully just stick this right into the meat. Alright, so right into that middle of the meat now. We're going to put it into our oven, which again is at 425. Oh, just got to untangle this cord here real quick. Put that right into the oven like that. Alright. Now the meat's in there, it's going to cook away. That probe, just as you can see, sticks right out of the oven just fine. And you can already see it's counting up. It's 114 right now. It's got a little ways to go, but it's not going to take that long. It's already jumped up 2 degrees. So we'll just keep that there. Make sure our alert's on. Now, I did also want to add some broccoli to this pan. I wanted to get that meat in there right away so it could cook. It's hard to do with one hand, so. Alright, there's our broccoli. I'm going to go ahead and get myself an oven mitt. We're just going to add some of these broccoli florets right into that pan. I just opened up the oven. See, our meat is cooking away in there. And we're just going to add some broccoli right around it. And keep your hand clear, because this is going to be all over the place, just splattering. No biggie though. Don't be scared by it. Just get in there and do it. Good times in the oven. Alright, got tons of broccoli, and you got the meat, and we got all of our potatoes, which have been in there for almost about an hour now. We're just going to close this right back up and let it cook until that meat's done. By then the broccoli should be plenty cooked. It's just frozen broccoli. Nothing special to it. And we'll see how we do from there. It's already up to 138. Alright, so our meat has reached 161 degrees. Just dinged. I'm going to turn off this guy right here and unplug it. And we're going to take the meat out of the oven. You're going to want to use an oven mitt because this pan is extremely hot. So I'm going to pull the pan out of the oven. You can see Broccoli is pretty much cooked, and so is the meat. I'm going to put it right here. Just have a little trivet on the table. We're going to pull that meat thermometer out carefully. And it doesn't quite want to come out. It's alright. Shake it a little. And there we go. Alright, I'm just going to put this in sync. And we're going to close up this oven. And back to the meat. So, first thing we want to do is remember to not touch this handle. It's still really hot, even though you might want to. One thing I often do is put this oven mitt right over the handle so that you don't grab it. And we're going to take this meat, and we're going to put it right on this plate, which is a new clean plate, not the same plate we used to put the raw meat on. We're going to take a little bit of foil, just standard aluminum foil, tear a sheet off, and we're just going to cover the meat. And we're just going to let it rest because it has had a very long and hard day cooking in our oven. So, what have we got left in here? We got tons of broccoli, which I have a little bowl right here, and we're just going to put it right in there. You see there's lots of little brown, delicious bits in there. That's where all the meat was cooking before. And that's where we're going to make our gravy out of. So, once we get this broccoli out of the pan, we're going to go ahead and make that gravy.